It is Friday, the 10th of February 2023. This is the 6th weekly of the year. And in the interest of getting things done a little bit earlier than normal, I am recording this on Friday morning before work. We're going away for the weekend, so we're off to Belgium for a nice long romantic weekend break with my wife. We come back Tuesday, so I am out for all the production time and all that sort of good stuff for when I make this. So yeah, I want to get on with it this morning, and I'm going to try and keep it to a similar format to last week. I didn't get much feedback on that, but that's cool. I'll take silence is golden, keeping it short and sweet and focused in a good way, hopefully. So yeah, I will go through a few good stuff and hopefully some useful information for you. So from a work perspective, it was quite a good week, actually, mostly. We did a trip to the new Birmingham office on Wednesday. So we've moved office in Birmingham. We've always had a Birmingham base ever since I've been there, to be honest. I joined the original building when it was in Custard Factory, down in the trendy Digbeth quarters. And then we moved up to Colmore Row recently. And we had another office for the last couple of years, just over the road from Birmingham New Street. But anyway, we're in a brand new building. It's apparently the tallest office block outside of London in the UK. We did some digging. Well, I say we. Jen, my counterpart, did. That's not for much longer. Apparently there's another building being built in Manchester that's going to outdo us. But for now, we can relish in that. So we went up to the roof at top to see what was going up there. There's a lovely terrace bar and restaurant up there. And when I went up there, I was like, wow. So I took a photo. I will use that in the show notes, and you'll see how astounding the view was from that position. You pretty much get a whole view of Birmingham up there. I'd argue most of West Midlands, but yeah, it was a great shot. The sun was out, which was quite a remarkable situation in Birmingham, up north, as people call it sometimes. But anyway, the office was great. They've made it kind of on brand to ASOS Tech. We've got a whole new proposition coming soon around what ASOS Tech is all about rather than just ASOS. And I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot more people again. We've not had the office for a few months now. They've used temporary spaces for some collabs times, but now we have actually got a new home. The desks are set up pretty well. We've got dual screens that just plug in and they just work. So you can pair and do all that good stuff. But loads of breakout areas as well around the whole building. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is actually getting up there and seeing some of my colleagues and actually spending some quality time and having those conversations face to face. Not like this, as it tends to be at the moment, but yeah, actually in real life, IRL, as you say. So yeah, it was pretty cool to get out, and it is opposite some nice eateries and drinkeries. So we went out for a pub lunch, some pizza and stuff like that. It was good to get out anyway, and good to see some of the new people I'll be line managing going forward as well. From a side project perspective, it's been one of those kind of in-between weeks. There's no big launches for me, but what I have been doing is talking to the House Finesse gang. So we have got 4 or 5 of us behind the scenes that make it work. And I played the idea of actually hosting a night, a party sort of thing, actually getting everyone together, doing a proper sets, DJ sets. We can record and stream, we can go live, whatever. But at the moment, we're just trying to coordinate calendars and trying to work out when would be the right time to do this. So we've got a doodle poll going just to work out the right dates and the right weekends, because it's obviously going to be a weekend thing. And the other thought was, let's make it a daytime thing. We're all of that age where nighttime raving isn't really for us. And I did notice over post-pandemic, there's a lot more events happening through the afternoons and early evenings, which are a bit more suitable for our age range and arrangements. So the plan is to do like a late afternoon, early evening event, and ideally sometime in the summer. But we're not sure when or how yet. We'll probably be down in Colchester as well, because 3 of the DJs are based around there. And I think there's quite a good dance music house scene down there anyway, which should attract a bit of an audience. Watch this space. It's very early days, but we are really keen to try and make that happen. And again, on another thing from the side project perspective, I recorded Make Life Work episode with Montserrat Kano. So I had a conversation with her yesterday, which was lovely. She was really interesting about how she works in isolation, how she tries to manage that anxiety and the difficulties of working in isolation. But she was just really lovely to talk to. I really enjoyed that conversation with her. That will be going out in a couple of weeks' time. I'm currently editing Adrian Lansdowne's episode, which should be landing next week, hopefully Tuesday evening when I'm back from my Belgium trip. So yeah, lots of content coming through now from that perspective. I've got another one booked for next week, and I'm working on another panel discussion for after these other 2. Keeping the content coming. And we're going for the 2-week cycle with Make Life Work. I felt like I was pushing myself too hard with the weekly and doing this and House Finesse, the 3 podcasts that I'm running right now. So yeah, let's see where that goes. And they'll be dropping on Tuesday evenings going forward. From a technology perspective, again, I've been playing around with a few things this week, but the one that really sort of caught my attention actually was the Monzo virtual cards, and something that I've been trying to get a grip of over the last year or so is how much am I spending on side projects? How much, I'm not getting much back from it because they are hobbies for me. I'm not seeing it as a business opportunity, but I just want to get an idea of how much I'm spending on stuff like hosting and domain names and all the services, even stuff like Descript that I use for this. They add up, and I just want to get an idea of what I'm spending, if there's any opportunities for cost reductions as well. So what I have done is set up a Monzo virtual card that is dedicated to all my side projects and shifted all the services and hosting and what I am spending over to that now, so I can trace it from a dedicated pot. But I am curious what other people do with their side project spends. And it's something I think a lot of us just kind of ignore or overlook or go, whatever, it's a side project. But it is a cost. And when I looked at my domains last year, I realised I was spending about 150 quid a year just on domain names, let alone hosting and all the other bits around it. But I'm really keen to see where I'm doing, and I'm love to hear what other people are doing with, financial tracking on around the fun stuff we do in tech. So from an entertainment perspective, I finished the book this week, The Remote Not Distant. Again, a really, really great book that kind of dives into the reality of working in a post-pandemic world and how you don't need to be in an office to be effective and productive and engaged. So there was a lot of takeaways, too much to kind of consolidate into this point, but I will consider a blog post actually around this. So I feel like there's a lot of takeaways that are worth sharing and exploring, even as an engineering manager, as someone who works across multiple teams. I'd like to experiment with some of the ideas with different teams to see which ones land and which ones don't, and then share that back to the others. So yeah, I really recommend that book. And another thing that we have enjoyed this week is Humans on All 4. So this was a dystopian sort of drama that was on Channel 4 a few years back, around synths they're called, but effectively cyborgs that have a potential consciousness. And I forgot how good it is. We really enjoyed watching that. The cast is brilliant. The acting is brilliant. The storyline and the plot's fantastic. Yeah, I've really enjoyed getting back into that. So we've watched season 1 this week. We're going to watch season 2 next week and binge that and then go from there. So it's been a pretty good week, actually. Like I say, it was great to get out of the house, to see the new office. It was great to see some more people. Lots of good stuff going on underneath with all the side projects, like all the podcasting. And looking forward to a great weekend away. So obviously get in contact to let me know what you think. Any conversations that you want to have around these topics. All the details are on the website, sidejobling.com/weeklies. And you can contact site@jobling.com or on the Mastodon, managingengineers.net @sci. Speak to you next week.